Do you know what is the first sense that is developed? The first sense that is developed from the very beginning, from the womb. What is the first sense that the baby develops? Hearing. Hearing is the first thing. For some universal reason, God gave us first this capacity for us to hear. Since I heard 6 months, the baby could already hear from the womb. Why hearing? Because you won't be able to speak unless you're heard. You know that? People who are born deaf could not also speak. So speaking is connected to hearing. The only reason we're speaking today is because we heard. It's magic, yeah? Whatever you hear, you could actually repeat it verbatimly if you're still that smart like the older generations in the past. I read in the Vedas that the age before us in Dwarpa Yuga, the students are called Srutidar. Meaning it means that whatever they hear from their guru, they realized it. That's why hearing, Shravanam in Sanskrit, Shravanam, is the most important process for learning. Because this is how we absorb everything. What we know today is because we heard. In fact, it is said that the wise person, he learns by hearing. And the fool, he learns by experience. You know why? Like, I learned that if I jump off a cliff, I heard, if I jump off a cliff, I may break my bones and die. I didn't have to do it to learn it. You agree with me? That there are so many things today that we've learned and that we didn't have to experience it. Thank God. Because if we have to experience it, we would not have survived this. You understand? So, having that the case, why listening is so important, and how do we keep this? How is it kept? Just like today, you've been hearing a lot of things. The last 3 days, you've been hearing it. But how do you keep it? That's the point I would wanted to talk about tonight. How do you keep it? You could only keep it when you immediately apply it. When you heard something, you immediately have to repeat and say. Because as soon as you heard and you repeat, the third process kicks in. Memory. It's magic. So you listen, and whatever you heard, immediately you repeat. That's what I do. I hear a name, you repeat. You were introduced to somebody, right? He gave you the name, repeat. You know how it is many times you're introduced to someone, then, God, you forgot the name. Why? Because you didn't listen. You didn't care. You don't care. That's why you didn't listen. And because you didn't listen, you were not able to repeat. But if you actually listen, you'll be able to repeat right away. So you have to make it a habit. When you hear something, very important point, even a phrase, a saying, I will make sure I repeat it. Forget about writing. Because in life, day we have some things, it's like, oh, where's my notes? I have something to solve right now. I have a problem. Okay, I'll check my notes. Where did you put your notes 10 years ago? It's gone. But here, it's here. So whatever you hear, you immediately repeat, then it stays. But the point I was trying to make was Tipa, still remember a phrase I said 20 years ago. Because she listened, she heard it. So she remembered and she was able to repeat names, phrases, talks, what do you call this, activities, processes. Because all of these things that you're hearing today, these are like, I call it like anchors. Like the word, I promise. It's an anchor. What is an anchor? An anchor is something like when like a ship, yeah, when they're in turbulent sea, what they do, when the sea is turbulent, there's storms here, there's storms there, they throw an anchor. They stay afloat to protect themselves. So similarly, in our life, we face some storms, yeah, problems. So we need anchors. I believe it's an anchor. It's a, what do you call this? It's your affirmation, right? I promise, I believe, I trust. There's a lot of anchor that we use. Even in networking, we use anchors a lot. So when we're getting frustrated in things are not happening right away, I try to remember anchors like there's a season to sow and a season to reap. You don't reap the same season. You don't reap and sow the same season. So I remember that. So meaning you cannot be experiencing success while you're still building, while you're still planting. Right? So what's your focus when you're sowing things? What's your focus when you're building? It's not harvesting. It's not harvest time. So you have to analyze, where am I right now? Am I planting or am I harvesting? Where are you right now? That's an anchor. You could affirm, this is what I'm doing right now. See? So what's very important is that when we listen and when we hear, we must immediately apply. Because all of these things that you've heard the last 5 days, you would forget as soon as you go back. You would forget most of the thing. You just remember the rah thing. But that's not the lesson to take here. Not the dancing, not the rah. The lesson to take is the anchors that's been given, those words of affirmations and stuff. You have to remember that. And the only way you could remember that is you repeat it and apply it right away. How do you do that? Just immediately talk to the next person. Talk to them what you heard. Share it right away. Not until you get back to where you are. Share it right away. On the phone, message someone. Tell them what you learned that night. Write it down. By sharing, immediately you're repeating. So then it sticks to you. Then this whole event becomes very powerful for you. You don't need to attend another VCon to be inspired again. Because the problem we would have is that it's so easy to get externally motivated. All of us here are motivated externally right now because we're hearing speakers. There's the energy in the room. It's just so great. It's just so motivating. Of course, automatically, we're so sure I'm going to be successful, There's this excitement there. But the excitement would not bring you the money. When you go back there, again, all of this excitement would be diffused by cold water of negativity from the people you're going to be facing. Day one, it could die. So you must learn where to find the inner motivation, the inner voice inside that would keep you up and going no matter what. You must make sure that there's a regular refueling of your motivation, because you could run out. And I've seen so many people who started this business, they're just so excited. They attended the VCon. They have everything ready. They have their notes. Okay? They're going. You see this Ever Ready battery commercial? Have you seen this ever? There's this like some toy like a gorilla or bunny moving like this, clapping with a battery. Then after a while, slows down, then boom, it stops. Why? Run out of battery. Do we run out of battery? Yes, we do. We do run out of battery. We run out of steam. We run out of steam. We run out of fuel. We run out of motivation. Why? Then you wonder, you just stopped. You're wondering why you stopped. It's just like you drove a car, you filled it up, and you just keep on like traveling. Then your car stopped. And you wonder, oh, this car doesn't work. This company doesn't work. Why? It stopped. No, it works. Habibi, you gotta put gasoline on the car, right? You have to learn how to put fuel. You have to refuel the car. You have right now a very fast vehicle, an opportunity, very fast vehicle wherein you could earn really well. You could be successful in this car you have. I call it QNet, call it whatever you want. This business you have is an opportunity. It's a car. And who's the driver? Is it your upline? You are the driver of this car. So you have to know how this car works. Even if you have the fastest Lamborghini, fastest car in the planet, but if you're such a bad driver, what happens to that car? You could smash it first day, yeah? Even if you have a very good car. Why? Because you don't know how to drive it. So it's very important that we learn to drive this vehicle. What is this vehicle? This is our car for us to reach success. Whatever success is for you, whatever you want to achieve, this is a vehicle that would bring you to your destination. Are we clear with this? Are you clear that this QNet, your business, is a vehicle? And when we speak of a vehicle, it's an instrument, right? It's a method, it's a tool, it's a car. Call it whatever you want to call it. It's your ride towards success. Do you need a ride towards success? Yes, we all need a ride towards success. You're the driver. Learn how to drive this. Teach other people to drive as well. And be a good driver to this business that you have. And that's the only assurance you could have. I cannot assure you success. Now, there are there's probable accidents on the way. Just like in any journey, there would be accidents come. You should be prepared for that. That's why you have to be a good driver. And when there accidents come, you should, if you had an accident or you run out of gasoline, right? What do? You have to, again, refuel. The thing is, see, what happened to us is we never run out of steam because we constantly refuel. And how do we constantly refuel? We're constantly talking to people. Everyone we meet, we talked. Every day. 26 years ago, I never stopped talking. I never stopped listening. So it's a constant refueling. Even me coming to VCon, I'm refueling. I get inspired just by listening to the different leaders coming here, seeing your faces, your excitement, the energy in the room is just so inspiring. And we get inspired, but the sad thing here is that we lose it day 1, day 2, day 3. After a week, we lose it when we go back home. That's a sad thing. So you have to find that inner motivation in you. What is that? What compels you? How can you motivate you? Because that internal motivation is what's going to keep you alive, not the external one. External is here, when you're alone. I'm talking about when you're alone. What do you do to inspire yourself? When you're out of VCon, are you still in touch with VCon? Because VCon must be every day for you. A VCon must be every day for you. You must create your own VCon with your team, even if it's two. Do you know when me and VJ started, we didn't have this VCon like this, but we were having our VCon. Just one-on-one. The two of us, we have our VCon. We're talking about our dreams. And we didn't have anything. All we do was every day we would walk. We'd talk about, VJ would inspire me. I have my challenges, internal challenges. I would engage with him. So I didn't realize we were having our VCon. We used to call it like development meetings. But we were having VCon. It carried us. It became 3, became 4, became the V partners. And so we started this company, which we named Rhythm Asia. That was our first company me and VJ set up. Rhythm, because we were based in Asia that time. We say Rhythm Asia was a company. And what was Rhythm? Raise yourself to help mankind. So that was like we didn't know what it was, but we said, hey, we have to raise ourselves if we want to help mankind. So 1 year in the company, we were being asked by the brand guys, the branding, corporate. They were asking us, what's your mission? And we're going like, hey, we didn't know our mission. We had a mission, but kind of like when we were asked, what is your mission? Like, we never thought about it. And VJ one night was like, so we were throwing things, what our mission? And VJ said, oh my God, Rhythm. Rhythm is our mission. Like, it was like an epiphany for VJ. He said, Rhythm. And he threw that out. He said, oh my God, Rhythm is our mission. So we started using Rhythm, raise yourself to help mankind. And it caught fire. To be successful in this business, make this mission, make it your mission. Raise yourself to help mankind. Because truly, that must be your mission to be successful in this business. Raise yourself means develop your character. Develop the good qualities. We all have those wonderful qualities that are already inside. It just needs sharpening. Humility, patience, compassion. All the things that you dream of. Now ask yourself right now, are you practicing those qualities as well? Because you are an upline too.